Hi, folks. This is Dr. D for our last Monday video. It's almost 8 p.m. my time, and I've been doing some thinking about what I wanted to share with you on this last module. And of course, the focus here is on the personal data project. And I want to call out to your attention a few things. First of all, on the lab manual website, remember we've got a major tab here on the personal data project, which gives you a lot of information, and it mentions the data sets, and we give you some data sets. You just click here and it will take you to this page, and it will give you some examples of data sets that you can use. Now, you can use just about any data set you might want to use that's appropriate for schoolwork, for sure. Um, but we don't want you to reuse the data sets that we use in the course, because that really wouldn't be challenging you just to go back and work the same problem you worked in one of the rehearses. This Texas Department of Public Safety is real data. I created this about 5 years ago, and it's got a lot of useful information there. A lot of students use this. The North Carolina births is a very popular one. The Simpsons paradox was popular back during COVID. I wouldn't really recommend it right now because it's a little advanced, and some of the students that have tried working with it, it became challenging. So just call that to your attention. In the open intro package, we've got a lot of data there that you can get. We've got some data from the Lending Club in the open intro, and this stints and risk of strokes. Here's another link to the open intro data sets and some others I've listed there. U.S. Census, this Rural Health Information Hub. A lot of students in another school that I teach use the Rural Health for their personal data project because it's really got some good information. One of your classmates called out you can use Kaggle. Yes, you can, but I would be careful there again. Some of those are a little more advanced. And again, we're trying to challenge you to learn something, but I don't want you to get in over your head. And I don't want you to succumb to the challenge. In the past, I've had a couple of students that will find someone has posted the problem and the solution, and they just copy it and paste. So don't do that. Challenge yourself a little bit here. So those are some of the data sets there. If you go into the lab manual here, and we're talking about, this is the overview, and it talks about what some of the things I've been talking about. And the first thing I want to go over is these deliverables. You still have to do a rehearse report 1, which is due Thursday, the rehearse 2, which is essentially a walkthrough of all of the calculations that you're doing. These be by Sunday, and then you turn in a final report. It'll essentially be very similar to the rehearse 2, except you've polished it and make it look very, very presentable in that remix worksheet. And that is, of course, due Sunday. And again, rehearse 1, primarily you pick your data, you describe it, you define your research question, you do the exploratory data analysis, and the kind of stuff that you should be used to doing, just to solidify in your mind, yes, I picked the right data set, I'm comfortable with this, I can go forward. And then in rehearse 2, you're going to go through the Downey infer process, the appropriate method for your research question that you define up here in rehearse 1. And then the remix report is just the final version. You've polished it. You may be able to just copy and paste directly out of your rehearse 2 into that. You also have to submit a presentation, and that's a very important part. One of the skills that you need if you're going into professional life is the ability to present. So here, we want you to create no more than a 5-minute presentation. We mentioned video here, but it can be a a slide presentation, either Google Slides or PowerPoint, has the ability for you to make your voiceover, save your timing, so it automatically will click through, and you can submit that annotated time, excuse me, PowerPoint or Google Slides. And I got some information and announcement on that. So that's an overview. Let me jump real quickly here to these announcements because I think they're important. I just posted these. The end of the course is Sunday, April 26th, which is not that far away, midnight Eastern time, and you have to have all your assignments in. Another announcement about that MP4, that you don't have to submit those. A lot of people ask questions, but that the annotated slide presentation works just fine. I got a announcement here that goes over all of the types of research questions that we covered, and you need to use one of these, okay? This goes lab 5, difference in two means, correlation, these are those quantitative variables. And again, lab 6 is more quantitative variables, multiple means, and then the ANOVA. Lab 7, we're in categorical data where we're comparing proportions. So those are the types of tests that you should be using. And so be aware of that. Let me go back here for a minute and just mention something because it comes up every time. I'm going to open up this announcement here. Okay, I got the announcement open here. Again, the course ends Sunday at midnight, and you need to have all your assignments submitted if you want to get full credit. And I just make a note that I have to have all the grades posted no later than the really noon Friday of next week, May 1st. If you've got a really valid reason that you need another day or so on getting your assignment in, contact me via course email as soon as possible, but no later than noon Friday. And if you've got, the reason makes sense, I will accept submissions until Tuesday night next week, April 28th at midnight. And you may get a deduction depending upon your reason. And again, lastly here, poor planning is not a valid justification for an official course extension. If you've got a valid reason, a health crisis, family crisis, contact me ASAP, and we'll work together to see if you can get an official extension or not. But that needs to be done as soon as possible. And again, if appropriate, I will. So a lot of information. I'm here to help all week, so just reach out. And I've enjoyed the term with you guys, and I hope you feel like you've learned something. And maybe I'll see you around the bend in some other course you're taking here at Excelsior.